Hi everyone, welcome to the part of series where we are going to make our Robo Soccer. Yes, so this will be the session 2 of making Robo Soccer, and definitely in this session we are going to learn something new. In the previous session we assembled the robot and then we made a code for blinking the onboard LEDs, right? So I hope you all are remembering. So let's see what are the things that we have done in last session. So in here you can see that this is the robot that we assembled, and here these are the two wheels attached with the motors. So there you can find the motors on the other side. These are the two motors and this is the battery, and we can power this board using this battery also. And there it comes with a caster wheel. Caster wheel is used for moving in any direction, and here it comes with the soccer acrylic shield. It is used to carry the ball, and here you can see that these are the top and bottom acrylic shield which is used for connecting the Crino board. Okay, so this Crino board will act as the brain of the entire unit and it will be controlling the motors and other pins. Okay, so this is what we assembled or we made in the last session, and in here you can see that when you have a look at this point, there you can see the 25th pin of our Crino board is now giving pulses, and there the LED built in is blinking right now, right? So there we made a code in Arduino Cloud Editor and then we uploaded the code into our board. So this was the result of last session, and using the same robot and the Arduino Cloud Editor we are going to make something new here. Okay, so let's see what it is. So let's start the session without wasting any time. In this session we are going to make an autonomous robot. Yes, so this robot can move forward and then stop. So that is the part 1, and in the part 2 we are going to make the robot Wi-Fi controlled. There we will see how we can make the robot Wi-Fi controlled, and there we are using an application, okay, a mobile application which will be used for controlling the robot. So let's see how it works. By making the robot, we will learn the things related to hardware functions. So there it comes the coding concepts like digital write, pin mode and delay of functions. So we will see what are these things and why it is used for. Okay, then we will talk about what are commands in it. So let's start. So these are the steps involved in this session. So initially we will program the robot using Arduino code to move forward and stop. And then after that we will implement this Wi-Fi functionality to it. So our board will act as a Wi-Fi hotspot or Wi-Fi server, and what we can do is we can connect our mobile phone to this Wi-Fi network. So then after that we can control the robot by sending commands from the mobile application that we are going to install. Okay, so let's see how it works. So what you have to do is you have to go to this Arduino web-based editor. There we have already made a sketch and we made a code like this. It is used for blinking the LED which is connected to 25th pin of our Crino board, right? Yes. So please take the code by going into Arduino Cloud. Yes, you have taken, right? In the last session, we made a login credential to log into this Arduino Cloud Editor, and then we made a new sketch and then started coding in this Arduino editor, right? Yes. So there you can see these are the functions which are very important in every sketches in Arduino IDE. So there you can see void loop and void setup. So these two functions will be there in every sketches that we are going to start, and then here you can see that pin mode function is used for setting the particular pin as output or input, right? Yes, so it is setting the mode of a particular pin. So whether it is to receive the data or whether it is to send the data. Then in the loop function you can find digital write function and delay functions, right? So here this digital write is used for writing a digital value to the particular pin. So here we will be giving a positive voltage to 25th pin, then the LED will light up for a particular period of time, that is 1000 milliseconds, right? Yes. So 1000 milliseconds equal to 1 second, right? Yes. Then after that it will be turned low, which is indicating there is no voltage is giving or it is negative voltage. So then the LED will be turned off for 1 second. So that's how we made the coding for blinking LED, right? Yes. So now in this session, at first we are going to control the motors in it. So now let's see how we can control the motors using the Arduino board. So there we should connect the motors at first. So let's see how we can connect the motors to our Arduino board. So this is our robot, and there you can find these are the RJ11 cables which are connected to these two motors, right? Yes. Now here already a blinking LED program is running in this Arduino board. So what we can do is we can turn this board off by using this slide switch. So I turned it off. Now let's connect the motor connectors. So there you can see that this is the RJ11 cable which is of this right motor, and then what you can do, you can just connect it to this point, and here also there you can find this RJ11 cable is for this left motor. So what we can do is you can connect this one into the board. Now it's perfectly connected. Ensure that you have already connected this adapter, and then what we can do is we can turn it on. See what is happening? The motor which is connected to this particular pin, so this left motor is moving forward, right? Or it is rotating in a direction, right? So it is happening because the two pin numbers that we are using here are 25 and 26. So 25 and 26 pins are used for connecting the motor which is attached to the right side. There you can find the label over there, 19 and 15 and 25 and 26. So now if you want to control this particular motor, you have to use two pin numbers which are 25 and 26. And if you want to control this motor, you have to use 19 and 15. Okay, so that's how this thing works. Okay, so when we are trying to turn on the switch, you can see that here this motor is moving in one direction. See, it is because this motor pins are connected to 25 and 26th pin of our Arduino board, and whenever the 25th pin is getting a high voltage and the 26th pin is getting no voltage, then this motor will move forward, or it will rotate in clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction. It depends. Okay, so when you want to rotate it in the opposite direction, what you have to do, you have to give the positive voltage to the 26th pin and the negative voltage to the 25th pin. That's how a single motor works. Now if you want to work with these two motors, we need to program it accordingly. So let's see how we can make the code for it. So here you can see that this is the coding area where we are going to develop the code, and here you can see a slash and a star and a star and a slash over there. So it is indicating we can write whatever the comments that we want to use in a program. So here it is mainly focusing on user understanding. So if you want to type something over there, you can type it over there because it won't take it as an instruction. Okay, so if you want to make a multi-line command, you have to use this slash and star, and if you want to use only a single line command, there you have to use two slashes, then you can write a single line command. Okay, so that's how you can write comments in this IDE. Okay, so I hope you all understood the things related to it. And now what we can do, we can delete this part. We don't need to use it because that is not necessary to our code. Here inside the setup function, we need to declare three more instructions. So let's see what are those. In the same way, we need to make 26, 19 and 15. It is because we need to control these two motors with these 4 pins. Okay, so let's see how we can make the code. So at first, let's make another pin mode function, and it has to be 26 and then comma output. So that's how we can set the mode of a particular pin. So we made it as output because these motors are output devices, right? So it needs power to work. So now in the same way, we need to create 2 more pins for the left motor. So let's make it as 19 comma output and pin mode 15 comma output. See, now we set the mode of each pins as output. Ensure that every instructions are ending with semicolon. So we made the mode of these pins as output. And now in the next step, what we need to do? Of course, we need to control these motor pins, right? So what we are trying to do is the motor should move forward for 1 second and it should stop. And then again, after 1 second, it should move forward. So likewise, for 1 second, it should move forward, and for 1 second, it should stop. And again, it should move forward for 1 second and it should stop. Likewise, continuously, it has to do the same activity. So let's see what are the instructions for making it happen. So now in here, digital write 25 high. So let's make a copy of it, paste it over there. Now you can see it is now 25, 26. Okay, here you can find that 25 is now getting a high voltage, which is indicating now it is getting a positive voltage in this pin. Whenever the 25th pin is getting a positive voltage, the other pin has to get a negative voltage. So it must be kept as low. So if you are giving high to 25, then 26 must be low. Fine. Now in the same way, we are duplicating this code. A set of code can be duplicated and then paste it over there. There you can see here, instead of 25 and 26, you need to give. Please tell me what are the pin numbers for motor 2. Yes, 19 and 15, right? So let's make it as 19 and 15. So now here you can see that the one motor is going in one direction. In the same way, the other motor is going in the same direction. So that's how you can make the orientation change. So if you want to rotate the other motor in the opposite direction, what you have to do? You can just give it here. So instead of this high, you can make it as low, and then here also you can make it as high. Then it will rotate oppositely. So in here you can see that it is moving forward. The both motors are moving in one direction, and then it is for 1 second, and again we are going to copy this one. This whole code can be copied and then paste it over there. So let's see what we have done in here. See here, now after 1 second we need to make it stop. If you want to make the motor stop, what you have to do is you have to give low in each pin. So there we are giving a low voltage to each pin. So let's make it as low in here, low, and then this will become low also. Fine. Now 25, 26, 19 and 15 pins are set to low. We can upload the code and see the result. So how we can upload the code? Yes, our board is already connected with a 12 volt adapter. Now we need to connect the board with our computer using a USB cable. So let's connect it, and after that we can upload the code. So here you can see that I have already connected one USB cable, micro USB cable with this Arduino board, and it is going into the computer. Now let's see how we can upload the code. Make sure that the power switch in this board is turned on, then only it will work. So when you turn it on, you can see that the motor is working. You have to keep it in this way, then you can upload the code. Okay, fine. Now this is the code that we developed. Here you can see that when we connect the COM port, there you have to select the ESP32 module. So we have already downloaded the cloud agent for interfacing our board with this cloud editor, and now let's connect it. Then ESP32 module. Here you can see that it is again coming ESP32 module. So it is connected to the COM5 serial port of my computer. So I hope you all are connected our robot with our computer, right? Yes. So now let's upload the code into our board. So here let's upload it by clicking this upload button. At first it will compile the sketch, it will check for errors, and then after that it will be uploaded to the board. Yeah, now it is uploading. The uploading has been started. Fine. It is detecting the serial port. Yes, now it is uploaded. Let's see what is the result. So once the code is uploaded, you can remove this USB cable. So the uploaded code will be saved into our microcontroller. And then here you can see that both the motors are moving forward. The one is going in this direction and this one is also going in this direction. So when I am keeping this robot in here, so it will be moving forward. See, and it stops for 1 second. See, yeah. So that's how this robot will work according to the code that we developed. So now let's turn it off. So now we understand how we can control the motors using the commands, right? Yes. And in the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to make a connection in between our mobile phone and this microcontroller or Krino board. So there we are going to install an application where we can control these motors by using the Wi-Fi communication. Okay, so let's see how it works. So for that purpose, you have to download this Robo Soccer application. So once you download it and install it in your mobile phone, then we are all set to work with our mobile application. So here you can see that there is an installation link. So at first you have to go to this link and then you have to download it from there. So you can access the link by the supporting material given, and also the set of program will be there. A code will be there that you can copy and paste it in your Arduino Cloud Editor. Okay, so at first we can install this application by downloading it. Okay, so let's install it and see what happens. So you have to go to this website by using the mobile phone. There, once you click on the link, there you can see a drive is opened and there you can find this download option. So when you click onto that, the application file will be downloaded into your phone. Okay, so now there you can see download anyway option is there. So when you zoom in, there you can see soccer2.apk. So what you can do, you can click on download anyway option and then you can click on to download anyway. So once you install it, this is the interface that you will get. So when you open the application, there you can see a starting button over there. So when you click onto that, now it has been started. Now I hope you can hear the sound. It is welcoming you. Now there you need to click over there. So this will be the interface that we will get. Okay, there are 4 buttons here and 4 buttons here. So these are all used for controlling the robot. Okay, now let's see how we can make the code for it. We are having a code in here. There you can see a set of instructions which are added into this loop and setup functions, and we added or we created another functions for controlling this robot through Wi-Fi. So what are the functions that we used? So we will talk about that, and this set of code you can access or you can have this code in the supporting material. So try to understand the code and then you can copy it and paste it in the Arduino Cloud Editor. Understand? There you can see Wi-Fi.h, Wi-Fi.header file, which is indicating Wi-Fi.h is a particular file and it is accessed and it is included with this particular file. So mainly Wi-Fi.h header file or this file includes different functions related to Wi-Fi functionalities. Okay, so that's why we are including this Wi-Fi.h function in this one. So there you can see that a Wi-Fi client.h library is added. So before that we can talk about this web server. So web server.h file includes the server setting functions and it is used for setting our ESP32 module or this Krino board as a web server. And that's how we are communicating with our mobile phone with our ESP32 module. So there we need to create a web server using our Krino board, and for that purpose we are using web server library. And if you want to work with this web server, there you have to include clients. Okay, main thing is that this is a web server and this client can access this web server by the networking protocols. Okay, so that's why we are adding these 2 header files in here, and there it comes with SSID and password. So why we are giving an SSID and password here? So here you can see that this one is constant character SSID. So constant character, and this one indicates a pointer, and this particular string will be converted into different characters, and there it comes with Robo Soccer. So that will be the hotspot name or the server name. So what we are going to do is we are setting this ESP32 module as a web server, and it will be having an AP, access point. So we all know that when we are creating a hotspot in our mobile phone, there it has a hotspot name and a password, right? Yes. So in the same way, we are creating a hotspot in here using the Krino board. So there in this Krino board, we need to give the access point name and password. Okay. So that's what we are providing here. The password, it will be 8765431, and the name will be Robo Soccer. Understand? Yes. Now there is another variable which is string, and it is having the variable name command. So why we are using this command? It is used to save the command which is coming from the server. Okay. Now here you can see that we are opening a web server. So this web server is an object. An instance is created here by using this keyword, and then it is opening a web server at 80. So when you want to open a web server, there you have to use this port number which is 80. Okay, so that's what we have done here. And now when we are entering into this void setup, there you can see a serial.begin function is enabled. So it is for debugging processes. Okay, so when you want to display something in the serial monitor, what you have to do, you have to include this one. So then we can identify what and all the things or what and all the instructions are going on. So it will give the result, or whatever the things that we are printing in this one, it will be giving accordingly. So it is actually a serial communication. We are using a USB here, right? That we are using USB serial communication. Okay, so that's why we are starting a serial communication here. So if you want to work with external devices by using the serial communication, you have to enable this one at first. And then there you can find these are the pin mode functions which is already used for setting the pins as output, right? Yes. So in the next point, we are accessing the Wi-Fi library, and we are calling a function which is mode. And this mode of function, what it does is it will set the Wi-Fi as access point. Okay. So the ESP32 can be act as an access point or a station mode. Okay. So here we need to set it as an access point, and then there it will create an AP which is an access point. It will be with the SSID and password. So these are the two things that we provided here. So these are the two things, SSID and password. So now we are starting an access point by using this name and password. And now once it is created, you can have this IP address in this variable. Okay, then it will be printed in the serial monitor. So what and all the HTTP requests which are coming into this server, it will be handled here. Okay, then we are beginning the server, and then in this void loop, this is a set of instruction which will be checking for some values, and there you can find that here it is handling a client. So when it comes to our mobile phone is the client device which is connecting to the Krino board web server. Okay, so then ESP32 will be the access point. The client device which is connecting to the server will be our mobile phone. And here you can see that this will be the instruction for executing or for handling the client request, and it will be checking for this condition. So our mobile phone application can send particular data according to the value. Okay, so here you can see that. So when it is getting this character F in this command, it will be executing a function which is go forward. Now let's see what is go forward. Here you can see that go forward is a function which is created, and here when it is calling this function, these many instructions are executed. So there you can find digital write 25 high, 26 low, 19 high, 15 low. See? So whenever we are pressing a button, a forward button in our mobile phone, mobile application, it will send F command to the web server, and then the web server is our microcontroller unit or the ESP32 board, and it will be getting the data, and after getting the F data, it will call this go forward function, and it will perform accordingly, which means the robot will move forward. See, these are the things that we have given, and here you can see that HTTP handle root function is there, and it is used for sending a response to the server or to the client. Okay, so that's how it works. And now let's upload the code and see what happens. So now the Crino board has been connected again, and now let's go to this option and then select the port. Now it is selected. So let's compile this sketch again. So let's check for any errors. Once it is checked, then what we can do is we can upload the code into our board. So the console window says now it is verifying the code. So after verifying the code, we can upload the code into our board. So now what is happening here? It is checking a condition by using the if statement. If this condition is happening, then it should go forward. Okay, go forward is a function which is called, and inside this go forward function, these many instructions are there and it will be executed. Okay, now the code has been verified. Let's upload the code into our board by enabling the Crino board. So now let's turn on the Crino board, then upload the sketch. Now I have clicked the uploading button, it verified again, and then it is starting to upload the code. See, the uploading has been completed, right? Yes. So let's see what is the result. So when you are clicking this one, when you are clicking this button, it will send F command to the web server. So when I am clicking this one, it is not moving right now. It is because now it is not connected to the Wi-Fi network. So what you have to do is you have to go to the Wi-Fi settings, and then you have to find out the Robo Soccer AP. Okay, so let's go to the Wi-Fi settings and connect this one with the Robo Soccer access point. So when you are in this Wi-Fi settings, there you can find Robo Soccer. Just click onto it, and there you have to give the password. So as per the code, we have given the password as 876543321. So this was the password that we have given. In the same way, you can give the password over there, then you can just click on to connect. So once you click onto that, now here you can see that the Wi-Fi access point is now changed to Robo Soccer. So there you can see that in the newest versions and all, here a pop-up message will come. So it is asking for you to connect the same network without internet. So what you have to do is just click on this don't ask again for this network and then click yes. Now it is perfectly okay. Now what we can do is we can open the application. So now we are having the mobile application in our hand, and whenever if I am pressing this forward button, it should move forward. Okay, let's see. Okay, it's always moving because we didn't give any commands for stop. Okay, so what we can do, we can turn it off. So what is happening here is when you are clicking this button, it will be sending F command to the server of Crino board, and when you are releasing it, it will be sending S command. S in the sense stop. So we didn't mention or we didn't give any condition for stopping. Okay, so in the next step, what we are going to do is we are going to stop the robot. So there we need to create a particular function which is used to stop the motors. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So in the coding part, we need to make a new function which will be having a function name stop robot. So how we can make or how we can declare a new function? Let's see. So here the same way the function go forward is declared, we are declaring. So here we need to give void. So void is the return type. So we don't need to bother about that right now. So let it be like that because every function has a return type. Okay. Now void, there you have to write stop robot. So whatever the name that you are giving here, it must be used. Okay. So here I am using stop in small letters and the robot R will be capital. And this is a special keyword. So this is a particular function that we are accessing. And now we are opening the function. There we need to use this commands for controlling the motors. So if the motor is running, if you want to stop it, what you have to do? You have to make all the pins as 0 or low voltage, right? Yes. So I hope you all declared this function name. Now inside this particular function we can write the set of instructions for turning off the pins. Okay, so now let it be like digital write, then 25 will be comma low. In the same way we are going to give other instructions such as digital write 26 comma low, then digital write 19 comma low. The last one will be digital write 15 comma low. Okay, so this is the function name that we have given, and we already declared the function, but it is not called, because here you can see that if this command is F, then it will be calling this particular function, which is go forward. So in the next instruction we need to provide the next condition, which is else if. So here we are providing if this command is not true, then it has to check the next command. Okay, so the next command will be if command equal to, so it is checking the condition. So inside this double quotes, what we can do, we can give s, and then after that let's call the function. What is the function name? Yes, stop robot off, then end the instruction. Okay, stop robot off. So this is the function that we used. So here you can see that this is the function name that we used before. So it has to be same, then only it will be executed. Now let's see what happens if we upload the code into our board. Connect the board and upload the sketch into our board. So let's connect the COM port again and then upload the sketch. So again it verifies the code and then only it will upload the code into the microcontroller. Okay, so let's wait for a few seconds. So you can have this code from the supporting material, you don't need to worry about that, and you can copy and paste it in this Arduino cloud editor. You can upload this code into our board by connecting the board with our system. Okay, so now it is uploading the code into our board. Now let's see what is the result. So in here again we have to go to the Wi-Fi settings and then connect the Robo Soccer AP. So now here you can see that our Wi-Fi is connected with Robo Soccer AP. And now let's go to our mobile application. But before that we have to make some changes here. Instead of connecting this adapter directly with our board, what we are going to do is we are connecting the battery. Okay, so let's see how we can do that. So here let's remove this cable and this power adapter, and then I turned off this particular slide switch, and then what we can do, so now let's take this battery connector. So this is the battery connector and it has to be connected to this point. So this is the point where we can insert the battery connector. So it will be going in one direction. Ensure that it is going in one direction. So this bump, so there you can see a small bump in here. I hope you all can see it. So this bump is going into this side. Okay, so let's insert this one. See here, I'm putting this one like this. Now it is perfectly connected. Now here you can see that these LEDs are turned on, which means these are the indicators for the charge which is stored in this battery. So whenever the power gets low, the indicator light will be turned off automatically. So this is the indication level for this battery. And now let's turn on the switch. Now this ESP board will get enough energy to work. Let's put it here. Now onwards we are using this battery power supply to work with this robot. Okay, so now we are having our mobile application in our hand. So now here you can see that the Robo Soccer APIs came, and if it is disconnected, what you have to do, you have to connect it again. Now it is connected to the network, and now let's open the soccer application. So we have opened this soccer application, mobile application. Now let's see what is happening if I press the forward button. See, again it is moving forward. See, again. So if I am doing like this, Again from this point. So now that's how our robot works. So whenever we are pressing these buttons, the particular command will be sent to the server, and this is the server unit and it will be acting accordingly. So the power supply will be given to these motors and it will perform the actions. And that's it for the session. So we made a remote control or Wi-Fi controlled robot, and there we used a single command to operate these motors, right? Yes. So what and all the things that we learned? Yes, we learned to use the motors, right? So we learned how these motors are working and how we can control the motors, right? So at first we made an autonomous robot which will be moving forward and it stops, right? Then after that we made some changes to the code, and there we implemented this Wi-Fi system, right? So there we added different libraries and we made this SSID and password for enabling an access point. So after enabling this Wi-Fi into it, we can have an access point. There you can give any name here. So what and all the names that we are giving here, so it will be the access point name, and whatever the password that you want, you can give it accordingly. And then that it comes with a web server. So we are enabling the Crino board as a web server, and it will be like an access point where it is like an hotspot where we can connect other client devices to a network. Okay. And after making it as an access point, there we are enabling a server and it will be on server port 80. And after that we are handling the client. So there it is checking the condition, like if it is getting F command, and then it should execute the go forward function, and when it comes with S command it should stop the robot, right? So there we are dealing with two functions. So we declared two functions here, like go forward and stop robot. So these functions can be called, and what and all the instructions inside of these functions will be executed accordingly. So this is the result of this session, and I hope you all understood and enjoyed making this robot, right? Yes. The next session will be the final session of making our robot, and there we will be having a complete working of our Robo Soccer. So basically in this session we talked about the hardware functions, digital write, pin mode and the delay functions and all. And then after that we used this Wi-Fi communication, right? So there we used different libraries, and there we created different objects using it, and then we accessed different functions using the objects, and then we made an autonomous robot which will be moving forward when we are pressing a button using our mobile application, right? So it is sending the data through this Wi-Fi and it will be controlled by this Crino board. And if you are thinking about the Robo Soccer making kit, don't worry, we are here. Now you can purchase our exclusive DIY Robo Soccer kit just by contacting us. Thank you all. We will see you next time.